Hi, how are you? It's Jenny Boom Boom here for Who Will She Be Talking to Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I have this show where I don't tell anybody who I'll be talking to until the person actually comes on. And in the last few weeks, well, I've talked to Benny the Butcher, I've talked to Chris Webby, Papoose, J.I. It's been really fun because, it's really nice to just kind of handpick who I would like to interview, who I would like to talk to, and vibe with. And tonight's going to be no different. I'm very excited about this because I've never gotten a chance to interview this artist before. We've talked about it many times, like, oh, we got to do an interview. But this is an artist out of New York who is incredible. And I'm really excited about talking to him, tonight because I just want to learn everything I possibly can about him. Last night was Small Business Tuesday. So if you missed it, make sure and go and check out the small businesses that I interviewed last night. And of course, we do that every Tuesday, and every Thursday we do Bad Marriage for Life. I guess we didn't do it last Thursday. Me and Vic just needed a break. But we are going to be on tomorrow night, and we're looking for couples that want to join the conversation. So if you do, just come on at 7 o'clock and ask to join, and we will get you on with us, and hopefully you'll have some good stories. I don't know if you could beat Stevie Nunez and his wife. That was a great interview with Stevie Nunez. So anyway, my guest, I'm excited about this one. That's my kids fighting in the background, in case you're wondering. Hi, Tony Moxberg.
Jenny,
How
what's
are
going
you?
on? Good. How you doing?
I'm great. I was just saying a second ago how we always say, like, oh yeah, we should interview, and we never interview. So I'm really
Yeah,
happy that we're gonna do this now.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me.
So what's going on in your life? First of all, my condolences about your mom. It's just awful.
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry to hear about that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just I lost my dad years and years ago, and I know it really affected me. And we weren't even that close. So I can't even imagine, your mom.
Yeah,
It's just an awful thing. So I'm very sorry about that,
it's
Tony.
unexplainable. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, tell me about your mom. What was she like?
Um, like our superhero for our
Yeah,
family, she did everything possible. Like everything. We came up like what I'm saying, like in the hood, rough and all that. But she made sure we had like the best education. She put us all in private school. Um, she got us out of our neighborhood. She did everything like a good mother would do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and underestimate other people's moms. And I mean, I guess that's like for all moms. They do whatever it takes.
well, I'll say most moms.
Most moms, yeah.
Most moms.
Some don't deserve to be moms.
But there are those moms that they carry their children's lives on their shoulders, and they do the best that they can for their children, and it's about their family. So that's what your mom sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. And never complained to us, never told us when she was hurt, when she had no money, never. You know what I'm saying? Like she always did whatever it took.
I saw the pictures that you put up of your mom on your IG, and they're just so super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many
Um,
brothers and sisters do you have? How big is your family?
I have 3 older brothers.
Three older brothers. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
4 boys. We
Yeah.
gave her a headache, but,
It takes a special type of woman to raise
handle
four
4
boys.
boys.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 sons and 3 daughters, and I don't know if I could do the five boys. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The girls though, they can be pretty horrendous too,
Yeah. I
especially in
mean,
their teenage years.
yeah, but I mean, we like became very, very close as we grew up, like more and more. Like she taught us how to she taught us like family values over money, over like no outsiders to get in between us. So like, and we just gonna carry that on.
Yeah. Well, I think that oh wow, look at you with the red cup. I got those too. Yeah, I think that this is just going to be a healing time for you, brothers, and the best. And my prayers are with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And everyone who reached out, like thousands of people. Some people, I'm still answering them back to this day, like thanking them. Like it was like overwhelming, the love and support.
Yeah, I love the picture of her with the chain on.
Yeah. She was like my #1 fan. Because she was battling cancer for like 2 years prior to that, and she actually beat it. But when she would be in the hospital, she would be telling every nurse, "Oh, that's my son. He makes music. He's a rapper. He's this. He's that. He's going on tour." She would embarrass the shit out of me, but you know,
That's so
it was
funny.
beautiful.
That's so funny. Now, your other brothers, what do they do?
My one brother manages me.
Right. No, oh, yeah, I know that brother. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey. He's everywhere with me.
Yeah.
And then my other brother's actually finishing medical school.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then my older brother had a pizzeria with my dad, and they just sold it, and they're about to get something else.
Oh, nice. Okay. So so obviously, if your mom was your biggest fan, when you went to your mom and you said, "Hey, I want to, be a lyricist. I want to make music." I mean, was she supportive right away? Because a lot of parents might be like, I don't know if this is the right thing."
In our culture, it's really not common. I'm from Jordan, you know what I'm saying? So we're Middle Eastern, it's really not common, but she was all for it from day one. She's like,
Really?
whatever makes you happy. But and you always see me in Connecticut at 2, 3 in the morning. We're in the clubs and everything. She's calling my phone at 2, 3 in the morning, making sure I got home. "Oh, you home yet?"
Oh,
Before she goes to sleep, she has to check up on all of us, make sure we're home sleeping and we're safe. Then she'll go to sleep.
wow. She really is a good mom.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Holy cow.
She would
Wow.
call if it was raining outside. She would call us. She would FaceTime us while it's raining. "You got to hurry up and get home. Where are you guys at?" Like, she would flip out until we got home. She would
Oh,
call us to come over and eat every single day, drive us crazy, trying to feed us.
wow.
Yeah.
She's
So,
it's much better than mom than I am. Absolutely. Yeah.
nah, I don't say that.
Yeah. So, we are around each other a lot, and especially at shows and things. Because if you don't know, Tony, helps bring a lot of shows to Connecticut, and I hope that continue. And he
Yeah.
opens up a lot of artists as well. But I don't really feel like I know anything about you. Like, I don't
Um,
know about you. And I was thinking about it today because, I've listened to all your music, and, I experienced you that way and on stage and just talking to you, but I don't feel like I really know too much about you. So tell me about your beginnings, just as a person.
um, Came up like almost everyone else in the hood
Hmm.
and climbed up out of there and started making music and been taking it serious for like the last like maybe 10 years. Before that, I was like in and out. Like, you get caught up in a lot of other stuff and the street stuff and all that. But I started, I actually started making music with the Locks. I'm D Block for life. And we asked, I asked Cheek to, if I could go on tour with him. And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yo, don't worry about it. I'm going to pay for everything, this, that, whatever state you guys are flying into, I'll fly. I'll meet you guys out there." And then I started noticing it started bringing back money. Like, I was getting features in every state. After the show, they would hit me up. "Oh, you want to do a feature?" And they would send me money. And so I started saying, "Oh, you know what? I got to take this a little more serious." And
So,
then
so wait, just go back a little bit for me, okay? You started doing music when you were how old?
um, maybe like 15, 16, but was just doing it as a hobby. And then, because I was really like, just running around being a knucklehead. And
So,
then
what would it be if you didn't do music? Like, what was your plan? Did you have a plan?
street pharmacy. No, I'm playing. Uh,
That's too
definitely,
dangerous.
definitely owning something like
Okay.
either that or like real estate. Like, I own a piece of real estate I actually just sold.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I just like, you know, being an entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
very smart of you. I haven't.
That's everyone in the music industry, especially independent artists. It's like you gotta. It's your 24/7. There's like no 9 to 5 with us. I
Right.
could I could get a call at like 1 in the morning. Like a couple of months ago, Styles called me at like midnight. Told me to meet him at the studio to get on his album. I went right to the studio to get on his album. I was not going to sleep till I got on that album.
So, okay, so I'm so completely different because, and I have work ethic. Years ago, with um, New York, what is it? Oh my God, the French album. Oh, I mean, French song, New York Minute was coming out. He like texts me at like late at night, like, "Hey, we're about to shoot the video. You want to come down to New York?" And I was like, "Yo, don't you know it's like 8?" I was like, "I ain't going to New York tonight. I'm right here." So
Yeah.
different, completely different than me. But I appreciate your work ethic. So you started off when you were 15. 13, and you started creating music. What was the first song that you ever created?
I wouldn't even remember. I started getting into music when I heard the Nas and AZ record, More Money.
Okay, yeah.
More Money, More Murder, More House. That record. I always loved music, but I actually wrote down all of their verses, the Nas and AZ verses, and memorized them.
Mm,
And I was going to school rapping them, and I thought it was like the dopest thing in the world. And then I started coming up with my own stuff, which probably sucked at the time, and then just kept working and working. My older brother grew up with the Locks. He went to school with them.
really?
So he told them, oh, my little brother raps, can he come to the studio? They're like, yeah, bring him. So I would start going to the studio.
Oh, they're so warm and welcoming and just great people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I just started working, like going there every day. But you would have to wait till they leave because there's one engineer and three of them, and they're working till like 1, 2 in the morning. So
yeah.
you would have to sit there and wait for them to leave to like get a chance to record.
Mm.
And there's like 10 people waiting to record. So it's like one day you might record. The engineer would call me sometimes to the studio 4 days in a row, and I would record on the fourth day. But I would always show up.
But you got to be there with the Locks.
Yeah, of
The
course.
legendary
Just
crew.
that's an experience,
Right.
and just absorbing all the knowledge and once you hear their music, it just makes you want to do better and get better. And they're all very, very successful. So it's like they're in the studio till like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I got no reason to go home. Like if they can sit there that long, I damn sure can sit there that long. So
All right. So, I have to say, like, they really co-sign you all the time.
yeah.
I
Those
mean,
are my
I
guys.
did a Zoom call with them a few weeks ago, and I brought you up as somebody, because I was talking about you a little bit, and they were like, they always have such wonderful things to say about you, Tony. Why is that?
Yeah. I'm a wonderful man.
Well, there's been other artists that have been associated with the Locks over time.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, they know I'm loyal to them. They
Mm.
love my work ethic. Um, I bring things to the table. Like I know it ain't about me. It's about everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't really ask them for much and they know that. So it's like a lot easier for them. Like if I go somewhere with them, they know I don't need them to buy me things or pay for things. And so I guess it makes it that much easier. And they actually reach out and want to help because you're not asking them for things as opposed to someone who's on their back every day asking them for, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll call them for verses when I need a verse. I don't just call them every week. Hey, can I get a verse today? But now it's like turning into like where we'll be in the studio and they'll hear one of my records and one of them will jump on the record. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on that record. And vice versa. They'll be recording and I'll walk in, yo, put a verse on this. So it's like now it's more of a bond than I go, you know what I'm saying? It's like now it's no more it's not really work and business anymore. Now it's just us having fun and creating.
So when you're making music with the Locks, okay, I don't really want to ask you who you like to work with the most because that's probably hard, but who do you like to compete with the most lyrically?
To be honest, I love all of them and I love competing with all of them. So it's like I look at them as one. I don't look at them as, and you know what I'm saying, each individual, which
Yeah.
they are. But I look at, like when people tell me my top 5 rappers, I'll mention the Locks as one as opposed to three.
Okay.
So it's like, and
Because people
they
have
all have,
their person picked out from the Locks. Like a lot of folks will say, "Yo, Styles is in my top 5." Some people say Jadakiss is in my top 5. Some people will say Chic is in my top 5. So it's like, and they're all so lyrically different to me.
yeah.
Like
And on different songs, they I might love Sheik's verse on one record. On the next record, I might love Kiss's verse. On the next record, I might like Styles' verse more. So it's like everything's different. It's like who had a better night in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's tough. It's tough for me to pick.
right,
So
right. So, what are those sessions like with the Locks? By the way, I mean, what are they like? Are they? I mean, I would think that they would be, I'm going to use like a real emotional word like exhilarating, but I mean, you must feel a high, like not from weed, but just
Oh no,
high.
there's a lot of weed.
Okay, I know. I'm sure there's a
A
lot of
lot of weed
I'm sure. Joey,
and a lot of liquor.
your brother Joey just joined us.
All
um,
right.
but yeah, I mean, I would think that you must every time walk out of that studio like, damn.
Yeah, now it's almost like normal, but I don't let it get me to like where I'm comfortable,
Right.
where it's like where it's normal. I know it's normal because I can go to the studio every single day whenever I want, and I can record whenever I want. But I still appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit there and get into a comfortable space where, oh yeah, all right, they're gonna be there. Oh yeah, I don't gotta get on this song today. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many records that you do have with the Locks. I mean, I love the beautiful struggle. And I mean, you have, of course, the new video out for High Score, which happened over the summer with D Block. Of course, you also released Going Crazy. Like, you have a lot of music.
Sure.
You just released a video last month, right? Big Money?
Yeah, with Sheik and Nino, man. Shout out
Yeah.
to both of them.
So, I mean, you're constantly creating music.
Yeah, I actually was supposed to drop Beautiful Struggle 3 right before my mom passed. And
Hmm.
then we stalled a little. I was trying to figure out which records I wanted. Then she passed away. So we've been like, I took like the past month and a half off, just trying to get it together and everything. And then, but like, I know she wouldn't want that. So it's like back to go time for us.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, I got the merch coming in like 2 weeks, a bunch of hoodies, bunch of hats. I got the weed trays, the what are those? I forgot. Socks. I got a few things coming. I got the EP dropping, shooting a video for every record, and a few meetings coming up. And we were supposed to be on tour, on the Lots tour, but
Yeah, I was
everything got
going to ask you
canceled.
about that. It must be killing you because you love to perform and you love to have shows and
It's a disaster, but you know, at least we're alive and healthy. So
right,
I
yeah.
mean, we really can't complain. A lot of people passed away. So,
Yeah.
but
Like I was
I hope it comes back soon.
I'm sorry?
I said I hope it comes back soon. Isn't Connecticut opening back up slowly?
We're slowly opening back up. We'll see what happens. I'm not really honestly, Tony, I'm not in society. I mean, I'm working at the station like 3-4 months now, which is cool. But like I literally just started getting takeout. I ate out one time.
Oh
Like
wow,
so we're just trying to get back into the groove of things a little
yeah,
bit, but our numbers are going up again here, and so
New
things are,
York too.
yeah, so things are, all hell's breaking loose again, I guess. So so we'll,
I actually think everything's gonna get shut down again soon. I hope not, but I actually think it's gonna because the numbers out here are going up like crazy.
yeah, I know in New York there's been a lot of hot spots. I saw a video the other day of Jadakiss walking across on his Instagram, like walking across the street or something. I don't know, was it his Instagram, somebody's Instagram, and he was like, yo, ain't gonna be no shows till like next summer or something. And I was just like, well, damn, like, yeah, there probably won't be.
Yeah, because me and my partner Big Mike, we do a lot of shows, and we're hearing Live Nation saying I think 2021 or 2022 or some crazy shit. So, but you see people trying to do it, and I don't think it's working. I mean, they'll try here and there, and it ain't the same.
Right.
They're doing those outdoor concerts where everything's spaced out.
I know,
So
yeah.
it's like you got to be at like a certain capacity, and these artists kind of want the same money. So it's like at a sellout, you're gonna lose money.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense for anybody, but the artist.
Right. That's true. Unless you can sell like a Zoom show, which might be,
A lot of people actually are starting to do that.
yeah. Like
So
That's just had one. So I think we have a question here. Oh, someone just said peace to you. But
he's
somebody
back.
else said, would you do an online show?
Would I do an online show?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually supposed to be doing one with Sheik. I don't know when it's coming up. Then I know the Locks have one. I don't know who they're having it with. I don't know if they're flying out to LA, but if they are, I'm going out there with them to open up. Um, but yeah, I'm all for that. Whatever it's gonna take, because this is like the new normal now.
Right.
I just like I was off of this whole. I wasn't really a fan of it, and I just figured out like this is it. It's either this or nothing. So
Right.
you got to start doing all these Zooms and these Instagram lives, and
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this in my situation, right? So I would have before had to like worry about trying to get you into the studio right now, trying to have an interview and all that. And now it's like people are so much easier accessible for, content for what I do. So
yeah,
I don't feel like it's so bad, but do I miss the entertainment aspect of it? I know that there have been times that I've been on stage with you in the locks where, and I'm going to sound really corny by saying this shit, but whatever, where I have felt like, yo, I want to savor this moment for the rest of my life because like, this is like just such an incredible thing,
yeah. No,
There's,
I feel like that with almost every artist, and I'm an artist myself. I'm
yeah,
like a fan first, so I love the whole nightlife and the concerts and all that. Being on stage, I get a high out of that.
yeah, me too. I enjoy it. I
I
mean,
mean, this is our world.
right.
So, but imagine how the fans feel. The fans must feel 10 times crazier than us.
I know, and that's I love that too. Like when I get to speak out at these shows and they're talking about, what these artists really mean to them and that moment that they got to experience.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sad for the fans as well because for us when I'm there, me, I don't even drink before I get up on stage, so I'm gonna end up getting naked, fucked up shit. But 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 I do enjoy when I'm there. I have
Yeah,
such an incredible time, and I can't even imagine for the fans right now. They must be feeling so sad that they can't see their favorite artists up close and personal anymore.
yeah. It sucks, and it sucks not being able to perform. But just got to keep busy and keep the faith that one day it's going to go back to normal.
Did you watch the Rough Rider Chronicles?
No,
No.
I
What now?
haven't, to be honest.
I'm
But I
I'm
heard a lot
surprised
about it.
by that. I'm surprised.
I hardly watch TV, to be honest. Like, I pay my cable bill when it's ready to get cut off. I don't even know when the cable bill's coming. I don't watch TV at all. I'm on my laptop listening to beats, writing, smoking hookah. The TV's full of like bullshit to me, unless it's like football or basketball. That's when every Sunday I'm glued to the TV.
Okay.
And
So, do you know what the Rough Riders Chronicles is about?
yeah, of course. I heard a whole lot about it.
What did you hear? Tell me what you heard.
Uh, they were crazy.
Who was crazy?
All of the Rough Riders. Did they speak about the Locks fight in Boston?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I heard a little about that when they fought with Benzino and his crew,
Yeah.
and you know things I believe did they say Wah got shot?
I think they said I'm not. I don't remember if Wah got shot. I think. Oh yeah, I think Wah got shot and D got in the accident.
Yeah, I know D got into the accident.
Yeah.
I never knew Wah got shot though, but I knew about D. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it one day.
You
I'm
should
gonna get
watch
to
it.
it. Yeah, I am.
It really stuck out. What stuck because you're friends with DMX.
Yeah.
And did you know that as much as like I'm a DMX fan, and I just didn't realize the type of abuse that he endured as a child from his mother,
Yeah.
and watching it, Tony, like really affected me. Like I felt really, really bad. And I actually brought it up to the Lots when I got to talk to them a few weeks ago. And they said that, from being around Yonkers and stuff, they knew the backstory of,
Yeah, everyone knew.
the group homes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt so badly for DMX watching that. And then when he was talking about the fact that he was trying to be a part owner of the Rough Riders label, because he felt like, I helped build this label and they wouldn't cut him in financially. He still seems like he's so affected by all of that. And I don't know. I just, it really, the Rough Riders Chronicles really kind of affected me. I'm not going to lie. I know that sounds crazy, but there's so much emotion involved in everything that happened. I thought, and maybe you should go back and, go watch it. Then we can, meet back up and you can tell me whether or not you feel it's an accurate portrayal of what happened. Because, like Jadakiss and Sheik and Styles recently told me that, they're working on their own movie, their own.
Documentary. Yeah, I watched that. It's like 90% done. It is super dope.
So they said
Super
that
dope.
they, after watching the Rough Rider Chronicles, they feel they have to go back now and like
That,
put stuff in there because there was more stuff that they left out.
yeah, that's why I said it's like 90% done.
Yeah.
Because I know they're gonna go back and fix a couple things. But yeah, now the Locks documentary is super dope. I watched that.
Okay, so
Uh,
tell me what I'm going to find out in the Locks documentary that I don't know about the Locks because I'm telling you that DMX.
it shows. It's gonna show a lot of their family side, like them at home with their family and kids and their like everyday, routines. Everything outside of it. It goes in and out with the music and all that, but it's gonna show a whole nother side of them
Yeah,
that a lot of people might be surprised about.
I have to say I do feel out of every group, like these guys are like the closest.
Yeah, super close.
Like
We go
friends.
on vacations. Like I just started going to the Bahamas with them every year, but their whole families are together, like every single year. Like
Especially
they travel together. Everyone's birthday party, the other two with their families show up. They're like, it's like way deeper than music with them. Like they also grew up together their whole lives. Like
right.
Sheik and Kiss were in the same building growing up, and when they moved. Their families moved to the same street, and they grew up. So it's like this was like way before music
Hmm.
with them. So and it's gonna be way after music for them.
Absolutely, which is important.
Yeah, of course.
So you mentioned an EP. So what are we getting, Tony?
Beautiful Struggle 3. And
Okay,
now we're kind of going back and forth with records. Like I got Styles, Kiss, Chic, everyone from D Block, a couple records with Benny the Butcher. That's family.
I know you. I know you like Benny very much, and you worked with Benny in the past. Big fan of Benny,
Yeah,
in the Zelda movement. There's not a lot of lyrical people still in existence, and there's a few people that are still really keeping that alive. Of course, you being one of them. But
thank
Benny
you.
and those guys, they're definitely helping to keep that alive too. So
Yeah, they're super dope. I was on tour with them. They came on tour with us a few years back.
hmm.
We were on the Locks tour, and they were opening up I believe at like every single show. And so I met Benny and them through my guy Ak, who was like Benny's road manager,
Hmm.
and he introduced us at the show at like the first show, and I thought they were just performing that show, and then we were in every city together. So we just kind of built a bond and got cool, and they started coming to the studio, and we just started doing records.
Yeah, he said we did an interview like this just a few weeks back, me and Benny. He said he couldn't believe that the people that he really admired, and really kind of essentially grew up to, he now has their phone numbers in his phone. He couldn't believe that. He can't
Yeah.
believe that he can call these guys if he wants to. Like
Hmm.
that must be an incredible feeling. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And he's very humble, and he's like always grateful around them. So it's like it makes them, and his work ethic is crazy, and he's super dope. So it actually makes anybody want to work with someone like that.
Yeah, I agree. So you said you have D Block, you have Benny the Butcher, and what will we be finding out about you on this EP? What are you going to reveal to us there, Tony?
Um, you're gonna get a little more grown up Tony Moxberg.
Okay.
Yeah, but still some pain and my realities. And I got music for the ladies, but I have a lot of big records that we're kind of holding off. Like I was playing records actually last night for Chic, and he was like, "No, we can't put that record out. We can't put this record out." So like I was playing in my EP, and he was like, "No, you gotta hold this record, don't put it out yet." So I was like, "All right, you know what?" And he made a lot of sense, like with different meetings he has set up for me and all that. So I was, you know what? I'll hold it. I'll wait for the bag.
Rich Rock 123 said Mox is a beast.
Oh, Rich, what up? Yeah, that's my guy.
Are you a lyrical beast?
Some might say. I think so. I don't think I would be around the Locks for this long if they didn't feel I was good
Right.
enough. So but I like to stay humble and just keep working and
So Tony, what is I want to know because people probably still call. I mean, you've been around for a while, but people probably still call you, a new artist, right?
hmm
What has your journey been like? What how is it going the way you wanted? Is it feeling good at this point?
it's a lot better than before, but I feel like I got a long way to go. But it's a
Really?
whole lot. I started off doing so much shit for free. Like every single thing, money out of my pocket, spending thousands of dollars. That's why I be looking at people and they're like, they think it's just gonna be overnight. And this is not this ain't the game you want to be in if you think it's gonna happen overnight. This shit is blood, sweat, and tears. They will suck the blood out of you. And you know the business. Like this, it's a really, really shady business.
Hmm.
But I just love the music so much. I stopped paying attention to the business side of it. If you pay attention to that, you're not gonna want to do the music anymore. You'll lose love for the music. So I let my brother and like people around me handle all that, and I just try to focus on the music as much as possible.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely a process. And I've been around a lot of artists from the very beginning of their career, and I always try to tell folks, and I'm not really quite sure if they listen or not, that you should enjoy the process of what's going on. You
Yeah,
know,
I love the process now. I love the tours, city to city. I was going back. I love the music so much that I was flying out on tour with the Locks. Then I would fly back home to take my mom to chemo and then fly back out the next day to catch the next city.
hmm,
So like I was missing some shows, but I was going back and forth, and that went on for the whole tour, just because I wanted to make it to that next city and perform for the crowd. So it's like I actually enjoy it. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. I'm to the point where I don't really care for like the bit. I care for the business side, but I don't really let that get into my head anymore. So I just like do what I love, and the money, it just starts coming in on its own. If you start doing what you love, the money will come in
was there a time where you wanted to give up?
all the time. And I think every artist wants to give up. I think even the successful artists want to just quit. You see it every time. You'll see kids come out with the biggest record in the world and quit their tour and want to and check in a fucking rehab or check in a mental hospital. This game will drain you. It'll if
I,
you
I,
let
will,
it though.
I will say, to that point, that I don't feel everyone should be famous, because
I agree.
fame is, like you said, it drains you, but it's like a very strange thing,
It
right?
is.
So it's like people recognize you, or people get very uh can get very enticed by being around you, and it's a very strange thing. And I mean, with me being on the radio, yeah, people will say hi to me or whatever. I'm like, hey, what up, but I'm not somebody very famous, and I can't
Mm.
imagine being somebody that people are like, oh shoot, and like I mean, I've been followed at Home Depot. That was weird, but know, but like you said, being famous can really mess up your life, and that's
Yeah.
why these artists might end up in a mental hospital or rehab or whatever, because it changes your life so drastically,
Mhm.
that you can't go back to being
Yeah.
who you were.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, with the Locks, they don't let that get to them. They're like so cool and down to earth that
Right,
people come up to them and just shake their hand or ask for a picture and let it go. They don't. The Locks, there's some artists that security won't let you go near anybody, or you got to
right,
stay 350 yards away from them. They're really not like that. So it's like they're more approachable, and a lot of people that relate to them and relate to their music appreciate that they can actually touch
right.
them and talk to them and say what up. And so it's always been cool. But there are a lot of weirdos out there.
Well, there are, but I do also think that they kind of set that precedent right at the beginning of their career. And so, well, I mean, I'm going to say probably after Puffy, but right at the beginning of their career, where they, were those types of people to be out and about with the crowd in the audience
Yeah.
and talk to folks. And so I don't really feel like they've been, no one's tested them. And that's why it's like important, I think, to show your love for people, because that way, you're not going to get the, oh, they think they're too good for us type thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
A
Yeah.
lot have never come off that way. They come to Connecticut, they'll be, in the grimiest of spots, and
Yeah, I know.
they're in the audience,
Hmm.
and that's why we've always felt so emotionally attached to the Locks, because they have always proven to just be just like everyone else around.
You feel like you know them personally after
Yes,
like one show.
feel that
Yeah,
connection,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know, but I going back again to your point, there are some folks that just can't handle fame. They can't
yeah.
handle.
I mean, there's people around us like on tour that can't handle, like if they're drunk and they just yelling in the Lock's face and they're trying to hug everybody, and we don't allow all that. Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they can't control themselves. Then they start trying to get rowdy and all that. So, but we don't. We put a stop to that immediately. We don't. But for the most part, it's always love.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you guys will get back on tour. You know,
You and me both. I was supposed to open up for them in London, for them, DMX and Nas. We had, I think, 5 or 6 shows set up, and that got canceled. That like broke my heart.
I'm
I mean,
sure,
I've opened up for X and the Locks a bunch of times, but never for Nas.
and that's your guy.
So, oh yeah, so that was gonna be like
And, oh yeah.
the greatest thing in the world for me.
Now, have you met
That's like every artist's dream.
Have you met him?
Nas,
Yeah.
yeah, I met him at LeBron James had a GQ event at like some gala, and he wanted the Locks to perform there. The Locks and Nas were going to perform there. So I went with them, and we were backstage, and he just came to the room like he was like it was normal. So I'm
Right.
looking, and I was like borderline starstruck. I was like, is that Nas? And he came up to Sheik, hugging him, talking to him, hugging
Right.
Styles, like it was like normal. So they introduced me or whatever, and we just started talking. So now I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm really conversating with this guy. He was like complimenting my Nick. I had the Knicks jacket, like a Mitchell and Ness coat, and he was telling me, "Oh, that's a nice jacket, this and that." And we just spoke for like 15 minutes about like regular stuff. I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe this." But he was like super, super cool, super humble.
Yeah, it's very nice. And
Oh
and
yeah.
so, did you tell him the story about writing down all the lyrics and everything? Did you tell him that? No.
Nah, I never mentioned
You
that.
can't,
Nah,
you can't do that. You can't do that, right?
nah, nah, nah. I was like, it was an amazing experience. I don't really care for too much art. Like I care for every artist, but I don't get that feeling when they come through the door. That happened with him, and it happened once with Beyonce.
Oh,
And
yeah,
besides that, like I don't really, whoever I see. Like, I've seen Hove. I met Hove a few times,
yeah.
shook his hands, and just kept it moving. But with Beyonce, I seen Beyonce, I froze.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool.
There's no being cool in front of Beyonce, huh?
Nah. I, she like waved at me. It took me like 7 seconds to wave back at her.
You're like, you look back, you're like, wait.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was looking at me. I didn't know what was going on.
But she's so nice too.
Super
She's
nice. And
very
I
nice.
met her after that at the Rock Nation Christmas party
Yeah,
and shook her hand. She's sitting there eating French fries, dancing like a normal person.
because she is a normal person.
Yeah, I mean, she is, but
When I first started doing radio, and I was going to introduce interview Little Kim, and I know Jay-Z came in one time, and this is like a long time ago, because I've been doing it 23 years now, and people would come in, when I first started my career, I would be so scared, like, because I knew that these folks that I really looked up to, like, I had Little Kim's hardcore, like,
yeah.
I would be so scared to interview them, Tony. Like, it was crazy. And then I had to tell myself, these are regular people. These are regular folks, and of
And
course,
it's your job. You're gonna see them. You're gonna see new artists every single day. So
right,
you got to get used to it.
right. So, I remember I had just got a video camera. This is like a long time ago. This had to have been 1997, 1998.
Wow.
Jay-Z in to my radio station in Providence. And I had saved up for this video camera. I think I like put it on layaway and stuff. And I finally had gotten it. And he came in and I was like, yo, can I record the interview with my video camera? Or can I record? And he was like, no. And I was like,
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
I'll never forget that story. Um,
Wow.
but he was always very nice to me. But it is strange when you start to enter that realm of being around famous people. And then I'm sure too you've had that experience of you're being around somebody and they're not, they're just starting out, and then all of a sudden now you're like, oh damn. Because you see
Hmm.
people's career, they blow and you're like, oh wow, that was pretty fast or whatever. But I do like what you're doing, and I like the fact that you're enjoying your process. And I do think it's extremely important that you're, happy, and that
Yeah.
you're making, amazing music. You haven't felt like you had to conform to a certain sound, which I think
Nah.
is really important,
Yeah.
because a lot of folks do.
Yeah. I don't. No. I make music like whatever my mood is that day or whatever the beat. Sometimes I listen to a beat for like a week straight and not write anything to it and
Mm.
just keep playing it for hours at a time until whatever I feel like comes to me, and then I'll write to that particular record. And the same in the studio, like there'll be like a club record or a record for chicks, and and then like you'll adjust your flow and all that, but you're not going way into left field to like making music to where like it really isn't you, and you're just trying to do a record for the radio and all that. So I
Yeah.
don't really do all that.
Yeah, I do like the beats that you choose. I don't really, I'm not familiar with who you work with as producers all the time, but I like your beats because they knock.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
They're dope beats, and
Yeah,
I wish you all the success in the world, Tony.
thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
I think
really do.
you're gonna do well for yourself. I think, I do believe that you're on that climb,
Yeah.
but I think you'll get to that spot and you'll be like, well, damn, it was a journey and it took a little while, but I'm here now.
Yep. I feel like that after every goal I reach. I always try to reach different goals, and like not even I don't really put a time frame on it because I feel like the world tries to put a time frame on when
Right.
you should do this or when you should have this or when you should uh, buy a house or get married or and they put like different ages, and I just go with the flow. I don't really feed into all that. I set goals for myself, like personal goals, and then I'll achieve those. I'll pat myself on the back for 10 minutes and then keep going.
Yeah, I always feel like a certain amount of pressure. I feel like, especially when I'm looking at social media, like I should have been conquered that or whatever. But then I also like those stories that someone in their 40s became a millionaire. So I'm like,
Yeah, that
oh,
happens every day. Social media is, I feel like it's like a fake world. It's like a world where people who do nothing in their real life go on to, and they they try to make that like their real world. They put on a big front. Then they go back to like misery.
yeah,
I do things in my real life. So social media, I do. If I wasn't really making music and all that, I would hardly be on social media. I don't really care for it like that. I have to be on it because of the music and the industry that we're in. But
right.
besides that, it's really nothing. I can sit there and post money all day, post cars, jewelry, women around me. And then what? Go back to doing, what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
I just think it's fake. But I mean, that's my personal opinion. Some people love it. God bless.
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say you have to fake it to make it, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I guess
that's
I that
the
never
rap
been
game.
that never been me though. I
Right.
rather if
I think that the fact that's why people love you so much, Tony Moxberg, because you're a genuine person.
nah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I just try to stay humble and be real with myself. I don't like putting on a front for people. If I can't afford this particular chain, I'm not gonna go buy the fake one, the fake version of it. I'm just gonna I'll get it. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Right.
As long as like the people around you are good and healthy and all that, that's pretty much what I care about. I don't really, family and God and all that, and then after the whole music and all that comes along.
Right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that about you. So Beautiful Struggle 3, when is it going to happen?
Probably within a month, and then the merch will be within a month as well. It's
Okay.
everything's like in the process, and then I'll be shooting a bunch of videos for everything. Shooting the video for the joint me and Benny got. I don't think I'm dropping that yet, but I'm just gonna get the video
Okay.
before, because he's really taking off. So
Yeah.
before he takes off to the point where I can't reach him, I gotta get the video in.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. So, how do we go about ordering your merch and all that? Do we do it through Instagram? Do you have a
Yeah,
website?
just through Instagram. DM my brother, Black Cloud Joey.
Okay.
Yeah, and he handles everything, and we'll get it out to you, and you know, that's it.
Well, we'll touch base again.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
No, Tony, anytime. I felt like I learned so much about you today.
No, thank you. You're the best. You always show support. You always show love, and please continue doing what you do. You're like what the industry needs. People like you, and not